Okay, the exercises for workout 1 in our 5-part series. Now, the first one is our supine knee rocks. Lying on your back with your knees bent to 90 degrees. This is a great one to loosen up our lumbar spine, our lower back. So just place your arms comfortably out your side, head goes down. We're going to keep my feet on the ground throughout, and then I'm just going to simply, like some window wipers, take my knees all the way out to the left or as far as I can, pain-free, back to the middle, and then over to the right. Now as you do this, I've got to make sure I don't lift my shoulders up. My shoulders must be the anchor point, so I'm getting the appropriate mobility and stretch through. So let's go through. That's 2, over to my left again. That's 3, nice controlled movement. 4, so I'm feeling a stretch through my lower back. You don't have to go quite as low as this if you don't feel comfortable, just as low as you can, feeling a nice stretch. 6, 7, 8. As you start to warm up, you may be able to go a little bit further if you can, as long as those shoulders stay down. 3 more. 10, 11, and 12. All right. While we're down here, we're now going, so we've done some mobilizing through the lower back. Now we're going to do some activation through our glutes. Basic exercise, feet shoulders apart. Once again, knees bent to 90. You have either your hands across your chest or by your sides. And from here, I'm just going to drive through both left and right feet evenly, really making sure my heels stay flat and weighted. And I'm going to drive my hips up as high as I can, get that drive through. I'm going to clench my glutes, not with my hands, but with, by themselves. Back down, light touch. Drive up as far as I can, squeeze, and back down. That's 2. Up and clench like I'm trying to crush a walnut between my glutes. Up and squeeze. 4. Just be conscious to take the tension out of the rest of my face. Really isolate that tension through my hamstrings and glute. 6, 7, nice and controlled, even weight. 8, 9, you can feel those glutes and hamstrings now working. 2 more. 11, breathing as I go, and 12. All right, the next one is a great core activator. Very a basic exercise, but one of those ones that it's always good to go back to occasionally to make sure the core muscles are working properly. So same position on the ground. I've got this little bit of curvature under my lower back. That's normal for most people. I'm going to now just slide my fingers under that curvature. So not under my bum, just that little curvature above my glutes, under my lower back. I'm just going to go 2 knuckles deep there, so I can under the lower back, and then I'm going to brace my tummy, head down, brace my tummy so I put a bit of pressure against my fingers. So drawing rotating my hips, which flattens my back a little bit, engages the core, and then now with my fingers I can feel that bit of pressure against my fingers. All right, so now what I'm going to do is maintaining that pelvic tilt, maintain that brace, and most importantly, maintain that pressure against my fingers. I'm going to simply lift one leg off the ground without changing the pressure. Back down again, lift, back down again. So be conscious here, it's not a leg exercise. It's that ability as I lift the leg to maintain an even pressure through both my left and right hand. So pressure, keeping that lower back positioning, that tuck of my pelvis, so I'm not taking the pressure off my hands. As I go, I can really start to feel that tension, that working through my core muscles. And this is exactly what our core does. As we move our limbs, its job is to maintain our core and our posture. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, squeeze down, work hard. 3, and 4. Beautiful. All right, the next one we have is we're going to flip over our first one of our prone exercises. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going in an all 4 position like so. I'm going to place the fingertips of my right hand behind my ear And then I'm going to rotate down, tap my elbow to my wrist, and then rotate all the way up, taking that elbow, that elbow as far up as I can, point towards the ceiling, back down and tap, open out, rotating through, feeling a nice stretch through my chest and my shoulder, nice working through my, now more my thoracic or my upper spine, tap, open out, there's 4, tap, open out, there's 5, 6, one of my favorite exercises, 7, keep going, a little bit more range if you can, if you start to warm up, 3 more, 11, and there's 12. You can stay the same side and just swap arms. I'm going to flip around so you can still hear me. So now our left fingertips behind our left ear, tap the right elbow, and then open out. Really feel that opening out through not only the chest at the front of the shoulder, but also through the lower back. Keep the rest, keep your hip position, leg position, same as we go. Try not to shift back or forward, forwards or backwards. There's 8. There's 9. 2 more. Okay, good work. Now we're going to lie sideways on the mat like so. So I can either prop myself on my elbow or I can go down even deeper if I want. My knees are bent like so. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to better to come all the way down. And what I'm going to do now, keeping my knee at 9 degrees, I'm going to simply lift that leg laterally towards the ceiling. Back down again, think about taking my left ankle up towards the ceiling. And where I'm going to feel it is through these lateral glute muscles. So it's what the movement's called abduction at the hip. And it works mainly the glute medius now, which is one of our most important hip stabilizers. Looks pretty basic, it looks a bit 1980s Jane Fonda, but it's actually a really important muscle that, as I said, stabilizes our hips. It's a good one to do as a warm-up before any squatting or step-ups or lunges to make sure that the lateral glute muscles are engaged and excited and ready to go, because they're really important in stabilizing our big movements, or even before a run or a sporting game. Let's do a couple more ones. Already basic exercise, but that is burning really intensely through my lateral glutes there. All right, flip over. Lying down on your side, knees slightly bent, and then just raising up. Try to raise directly towards the ceiling. That knee stays slightly bent. That's it. Really think about lifting from the hip, that lateral movement. That's it. There's 6. These muscles are pretty, even though they're so important, they do tend to get quite weak and can be a big reason why we get knee pain and hip pain, lower back pain. So basic strengtheners for these hip muscles are so important. And if you've got any of those hip pains or you want to ward them off, then this is your secret. Let's do one more. Beautiful. Once again, you should be feeling a really bit of a burn through those lateral glutes. All right. One of the most important muscles in the world, one of the exercises in the world is the Cobra. All right. We spend so much of our time flexed, looking at a computer, a TV, or driving. And what we need to do to counteract that is a Cobra, which takes our spine into extension. So it really brings a lot of nourishment to our spine, and yeah, it's really, really important. So I'm lying on my tummy. The important thing here is my glutes want to engage to lift me up, but I want to just let my hips really relax and fall into the ground. So I do not want my glutes firing up for this exercise. I want them completely relaxed. Hands directly under the shoulders like so. And then what I'm going to do, keeping my hip bones glued to the ground, I'm going to start with my head, upper back, and I'm just going to press my arms into the ground to get that extension. Once again, don't pull through the glutes, make sure they're relaxed, and come back down again. Head first, press through my arms like I'm doing a push-up, back down again. Keep those hip bones dropped into the ground, glutes relaxed, and get as much extension as I can. I've got good extension through my spine. I should be able to keep my hip bones on the ground and almost straighten my elbows. Don't force it though. Just go to whatever your limit is. As I said, if your hip bones come off the ground, then you're actually cheating on the exercise. Press up, get that extension. Should feel nice through the lower and mid back. This is one of those exercises that we should be doing almost the first move when you get out of bed. Bang out 10 or 15 of these is a really good idea. And then also, as part of your warm-up, let's do 2 more. 1 and 2, nice work. All right. Okay, so the next one, what I suggest you do is do this one either sitting on a chair or on a couch. So what I'm going to do, imagine I'm sitting on a couch, my posture is perfect, sorry, on a chair. My posture is perfect. I'm just going to raise one leg and I'm going to do 10 ankle rotations in an anti-clockwise direction. So there's 1, 2, 3. Just make sure as you do that, you're keeping your shoulders open, keeping your body in posture, no hunching. 2 more, 1 and 2. Let's reverse the direction. Let's go now clockwise. So this is a great one for just mobility through the ankles. They can get pretty seized up sometimes, especially if you had any history of ankle rolls or whatever in the past. Then this, that mobilise the ankle like this can really help the fluid in the ankle joint to become more viscous and move more pain-free and a lot more successfully. So now we'll move on to the right side. Let's start with our either anti-clockwise or clockwise. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's reverse it. Other way on the right, a couple of cracks and creaks. Get as big as circles as you can, don't rush it. Okay, beautiful. Next one is our T-rows. So you can do this a few ways. You can do it lying down. I probably prefer to do it in a standing position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my chest up. I'm going to stick my bum out and I'm going to just bow down like I'm bowing to the king or queen, down to as close to horizontal with my torso as possible. I'm then going to let my arms hang to the ground like so, turn my palms forward and my thumbs are facing laterally, and I'm going to slowly raise my arms out to the side, and then at the top I'm going to pinch through my shoulder blades. So down, spine nice and long, pinch through the shoulder blades, touch my pinkies together, slowly open out, clench through the shoulder blades, keeping that posture nice and long as I go. Get a little bit of a bonus stretch through the hamstrings. There's 4. Squeeze 5. Really important here to keep the tension out of my neck and my face. So to make sure I'm not tensing my jaw. Just relax the face, relax the neck and the shoulders. And let's really work on those muscles that kind of connect between our shoulder blades and the point of our shoulder. 2 more. Once again, if you're doing this correctly, you're not swinging and you're really recruiting that muscle, you start to feel a little bit of a light burn through the back of the shoulders there. All right, now we're going to do some calf raises. So once again, what muscles do we tend to neglect? Often it's these calf muscles is one of those. They support us all day with our walking and going upstairs, going up hills. Really important to keep them strong. So just simply standing on a flat surface and then raise up as high as I can onto the balls of my feet. There's 2, make sure you're pushing evenly through both. Drive it up, 3. drive it up 4. This little workout series would be a great one to do for maybe 15 minutes every morning, just to activate the body, get all those muscles pre-activated neurally, make sure I'm bringing blood to my entire body as well, which kind of flushes things out. It'll be an absolutely perfect start to your day. Up for 9, up for 10, 11, and last one, 12. All right. Last one is a squat. Now, obviously, if you've got any knee pain or any lower body pain or back pain, you may have to modify these. But a squat is still a fundamental exercise. You need to go to the toilet, you need to sit on a chair, so don't talk yourself out of it, because these are things you do all the time. It's just now seeing if we can do it even better, all right? So with the squat, it is simply, imagine me sitting back into a chair and then standing back up again. However, there's a couple of key things here. I want to make sure my heels stay down. I don't want to go onto the balls of my feet. So those heels must be flattened the whole time, so I've got pressure through the entire foot. Secondly, I do not want to see the knees rock in on the way down or on the way up as well. So I want to keep those knees in line with my ankles the whole time. If anything's maybe a little bit out, so those lateral glute muscles are working, the knees flop in, that means they're not working, so be conscious of that. And the third thing is that posture, all right? So make sure I'm not rounding my back, which you will do if you're not focused. So 2 things to make sure my posture is to drive my bum back and keep my chest up and open. If I do those 2 things, I can't hunch, but if I don't push my bum back and I round the shoulders, and obviously you can see what happens. All right, so heels down, knees out, spine long, let's go. Sitting on a chair, driving up. 1, sit, drive up. 2, you see I'm going into a bit of a prayer position, then thumb past the pocket, just helps me with that posture and also that range of motion. 4, 5, drive up. 6, down. 7, you can sit all the way down. I want you to actually take your load off at the bottom and sit, and then drive up. Just be conscious also pushing on the way up, push the ground away with both the left and the right feet. So make sure we're not focusing on one more than the other. That's about 10, 2 more, 11, and lottery counter, 12. All right, so what I'll do now to do a second round is just to quickly swipe back through, and if you want to hear the cues again, obviously do that. Otherwise, we'll also include the workout video, so you can now, if you remember the exercises, go through at your own pace, following through all 10 exercises for about 12 reps, and do 2 or 3 rounds. All right, guys, do this for a few weeks, master it, get the benefits out of it, and then you can move to video 2 in the series.